Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, parents, carers, year 6, and a huge welcome to BA's Open Evening. My name is Miss Shallow, and I'm an assistant principal here at BA. Now, the order of event is going to be as follows. In a moment, you will be hearing from our headmaster, Mr. Napier, who's going to take you through some amazing transformations that have been taking place here at BA. And then you hear from various members of our community, so our students, and you get to understand exactly what it takes to be a BA student. And that is going to be followed by Mr. Spark, our vice principal, who's going to talk you through our remarkable curriculum here at BA. Then it will be back to myself, where I'm going to talk to you about our transition process, after which you'll be given a moment to ask questions using our Slido code, which is now on the screen. So if you have your phones ready, scan the QR code. So just go on Slido and hashtag remarkable, or you can just take your phone and just hover over the Slido QR code. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Now, after your questions, we'll now bring the assembly to a close with Mr. Napier once again. So I'll now pass you over to Mr. Napier, who's going to talk you through those amazing transformation that we've been experiencing here at BA. Over to you, sir.
Miss Shallow, thank you. And to everyone that's been able to join us this evening, a very warm welcome to this open evening for Bexley Heath Academy. Today is the 23rd of September 2021, and we're thrilled to be able to talk to you this evening about the opportunities and experiences that await children looking to join us in the coming academic year. And this evening is really an opportunity to meet some of the team and some of the students from the Academy, to explore what's on offer at Bexley Heath Academy, the experiences that await students, and to discover what it's like to be a student. And we're thrilled that some of our students have been able to join us this evening to talk to you about their experiences. Over the last few weeks, it's been an absolute pleasure to show hundreds of families around the school. And if you have been able to join us for a tour, you'll already have a flavour of what it's like to be a student at the Academy. But tonight provides us with a really exciting opportunity to be able to talk to you about the experiences that await you. If you've not had the opportunity to book a tour yet, there is a link on our website to book a tour. And over the coming 2 days, we're going to be adding additional slots for you to book a tour. And so please do check that out over the weekend, when we'll be adding some more slots to come and join us. And really, to start off our open evening, I want to talk to you about what it is that we stand for as a school, and what are the things that you can expect as parents and carers and look for your children joining us. And it really is driven absolutely every step of the way by making sure that the opportunities and experience that students have sets them up to have not only a great experience in school, but step into a remarkable life. And what your children can expect from us at the Academy is remarkable teaching, working with some incredible teachers and some of the most talented teachers that I've had the pleasure of working with. Remarkable experiences, whether that's in class, out of class, and we'll talk a little bit later about all of the enrichment and extracurricular opportunities there are at the school. Behaviour around the Academy, which is superb. And if you have been able to join us on a tour, you'll have seen that in every single classroom, every single day, students have and enjoy a disruption-free experience where they can really concentrate on making progress in their studies. And fundamentally, we aim to make sure that every student with us at Bexley Heath Academy is happy, safe, and is able to come to school every day enjoying the experience that they have with us. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our values that we hold at Bexley Heath Academy. And no doubt you'll have seen us talking about these previously, but being unusually brave, discovering what's possible, pushing the limits and being big-hearted are really the cornerstones of everything that we do. And absolutely, in terms of our curriculum, our enrichment and extracurricular activities, in terms of the remarkable things that students can achieve, this really sets young people up to be super successful with us. And whether that's exploring new ideas, participating and experiencing challenges, and making those memories in secondary school that will last forever, or whether that's transforming students' ambition and realizing what they can achieve, our values really do, we hold very dear. But let me spend a little bit of time talking to you about what it's like to be a student on a day-to-day basis at the Academy. And our school day starts at 8:45 each day, with our period 1 classes, right through up until 3:10 in the afternoon. However, before the start of the day, there are clubs and enrichment opportunities for students beginning at 8 o'clock. They also take place during our lunch break and then continue after school from 3:15 all the way through until 4:30. And we'll talk a little bit more about all of the clubs and activities that are available to students a little bit later in this evening's event. But you can see on screen here that we've provided a bit of a summary of the subjects that students will expect to study with us as a Year 7 student. And so at the heart of our curriculum, students will study maths, English, and biology, chemistry, and physics. And in each of those subjects, students will be taught by a specialist teacher. And we take the view that particularly in science, that it's really important that students study those disciplines separately and will continue to be taught by specialist biology, chemistry, and physics teachers from joining us in Year 7 all the way through until their GCSEs and beyond. And then supplementing those core subjects, students will study with us geography, history, Spanish, art and design, music and drama, and a really exciting program called Innovation and Technology. And I know that Mr. Sparks, a little bit later in this evening, will touch on that area, as well as a really exciting program called Personal Development. But on a day-to-day basis, these are the core elements that students will be able to experience. And when we think about how students do learn with us and the experience that they have on a daily basis, we have an approach which is truly inclusive. And so we make sure that every student, regardless of their starting point, has absolutely got the experiences and got the platform to be successful. And what we see every lesson of every day is a great classroom experience for those students. We see fantastic cultural opportunities for students to be involved with, and a really caring and supportive pastoral care system to make sure that students and their families are supported all the way through secondary school. And we've got an extremely talented team of pastoral managers that support individual students, and a really talented group of teachers that work with students across the school. And ultimately, bringing to life learning environments that allow students to really thrive and develop those talents and abilities to go on and be super successful. And what you'll see and what students can expect from us are really high expectations in terms of the way that they behave, in terms of the effort that they apply to their learning and every activity across the academy, and the opportunity to take an active part in everything that's going on at the school. And there really is that sense of community, that pursuit of excellence, and being really proud of everything we stand for, pushing the limits and being unusually brave, discovering what's possible. And through our values and through the experiences that students have every day, setting young people up to go on to live a truly remarkable life. But as this section of our open evening comes to a close, I just want to finish with a few statistics for you. So students at Bexley Heath Academy, 74% of students at Bexley Heath Academy secure good GCSE grades in maths and in English, so the grade 4 and above in both of those subjects. Within our sixth form, the average grade that a student achieves is a B+. in terms of the progress that students make with us from their starting points to the end of year 11, that's above average. And you can see our calculated progress 8 score there of 0.29. And that tells us that based on their starting points, students make more than expected progress. This academic year, we've got 162 clubs running across the year in total for students in year 7, but in all year groups to participate in. And that's enhances the really strong curriculum that's delivered as part of our core academy day. And I think really 2 interesting figures to finish on just before I do hand over for the next section of this evening, that we have 0 supply teachers employed at the academy, and we don't have supply teachers teaching students in our school. And then the final figure, and it's a really exciting figure, Miss Shallow, is the figure of 343. And that's the number of days, Miss, that the young people sat at home this evening have got to wait until they are able to join us as a year 7 student. And I'm sure that many of us are starting to count down those days already. So to bring this opening section of our open evening to a close, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're thrilled that there are so many of you that are watching us online. We hope that if you've not joined us at the Academy for a tour yet, that you'll join us really soon. And do check out our booking calendar over the weekend, because I know that Miss Shallow and the team are working hard to populate that with additional tours that will be available to book really soon. But Miss Shallow, I think I'm going to hand over to you. And I believe that we've got some of our incredible students that are going to share their experiences of Bexley Heath Academy. Miss Shallow, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Napier. Year 6, you've heard the head teacher himself. He's actually just told you have less than a year for you to actually come and be part of this remarkable community that you've just heard Mr. Napier go on about. Now, it's not just for us to sit here and tell you how amazing we think our school is. I thought it would be a lot better to bring our young people on board, for them to come and tell you what their experience of BA has been so far. So I'll now pass you over to Antella, who's going to start off this journey with us. Hi, Antella.
Hi, Miss. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a delightful day. My name is Antella, and I'm in Year 11. I've been at this academy since Year 7, and I have treasured every moment of it. Bexley Heath Academy has provided a range of opportunities for me, and I would like to share these with you tonight. As a member of the leadership team, we have been able to produce a project into making our school more sustainable and reducing the plastic waste within our school and eventually our community. As well as this, being on the leadership team has given me the chance to join the Bexley Youth Council. In the Youth Council, we talk about bettering the community and resolving problems that might have taken place, especially between schools and teens. For example, we created cards with information and help young people can get so that they will never feel alone. As well as that, being on the leadership team has allowed me to express my voice and share my opinions, knowing very well that they will be heard, which has boosted my confidence immensely. Another opportunity I was offered was being able to compete in the Jack Petrie competition, which was an amazing way for me to get my message across. As well as that, I have had the opportunity to be on BBC and Sky News a couple of times, which was really interesting. If there is one thing about Bexley Heath Academy that I love, will be the amount of opportunities you are offered to better yourself. As well as that is the immaculate support you get from the amazing staff at our school. The learning in the classrooms is full of dedication. Things such as disrespect, disruption will not be tolerated, in order for everyone else to get the most out of their lessons and succeed. Bexley Heath Academy is an incredible school that has been through a long journey, and I hope all of you join us too. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Antella. I've just been told by my technical support member that we've got lots of questions. So please do go on the Slido. If you definitely want to hear a question that's actually in on the Slido, could you like it so we know that that question is one of the ones that we start with? I'll now pass you over to the next young person, what I believe is Scarlett. Oh, we've got Tanya. Over to you, Tanya.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya, and I'm the head student of Year 11. I've been in BA since Year 8, and I was able to notice big changes in the school, and the school has went through them. The school has been from requires improvement to a good school, which are the ratings from Ofsted. And the thing that I enjoy most about BA is the fact that everywhere I go, I can talk to someone, whether that is my teachers or my peers, since everyone is so approachable. And this has allowed me to become more confident in myself and develop my conversational skills, which I need on a daily basis. And as a head student, I was able to participate in news interviews, like Sky News or BBC, and I was also able to steal talent from my school, meaning I got to interview teachers and decide type of teacher we will have in front of us. How cool is that, huh? But keep in mind that as a student of BA, I was able to
Okay, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Just so you all understand, parents and young people as you're watching, we're all actually in our houses, and you can imagine that the system is going to get overloaded with so many people that we've got backstage, and you know, the internet every now and again does play up. Okay, so I'm going to now pass you over to our next member of staff. So that's going to be Mr. Sparks. Oh, we're going to go to Tia.
Hi.
Over to you, Tia.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tia Trotman, and I am a Year 8 student at BA. For the past year or so I've been at BA, the most enjoyable thing for me would probably be the clubs. There are many varieties of clubs at school, ranging from sport, art, science, and more, which will help you explore different experiences beyond the classroom. The food in the canteen is not only delicious, but served by the lovely lunch staff who make it. You will receive many variations of food every day in the week, from pizza, pasta, sausages, chicken, and desserts such as brownies, jelly, and much more. Today we had a Greek meze, which was delicious. The canteen will get you to try new things. At the start of your school year, you will be handed a Chromebook to help you with your studies, which in my own experience helped me quite a lot. It also helps the school by limiting the amount of paper used, which is better for the environment. I think that you should choose BA as your future school, seeing as it has helped me learn so much and there are so many opportunities available. And you have an amazing staff team to guide you through the school journey. If you do end up choosing BA, I guarantee you will not regret it.
Thank you so much, Tia. So as you've heard from our students, they themselves have told you how remarkable their experiences have been so far. I'm now going to pass you over to Mr. Sparks, who's going to talk you through our remarkable curriculum. Mr. Sparks?
Brilliant. Good evening. Thank you, Miss Charlotte. And I do agree with Tia. I had the Greek meze today, and it was delicious. She's not making it up. It was a great lunch today. Absolute pleasure, as Mr. Napier said, to join you virtually this evening. And I'm sitting here staring at the questions that are coming in, and there are some phenomenal questions, which really, fortunately, will help me as I go through my section of the presentation, because I'll be able to answer many of those for you. And if you feel it's answered, we can tick them off as we get to the end. So thank you for keeping those questions coming. And I want to talk to you about the experience the students have at Bexley Heath Academy, and start with the curriculum. One of the questions was, where's PE? I don't see PE on the list. And we wrap PE up in our personal development program. So students at Bexley Heath Academy have 5 lessons of personal development a week, 2 of which are PE lessons, 2 of which are skills-based lessons, where we look at the art of developing skills like being a great speaker, being a great listener, being a great presenter. And one of those is our main assembly program, which is very much like the presentation you're on this afternoon, where we get together as a year group and explore really great issues. So that's where PE comes in. So I'm glad I could answer that question off straight away. But as you can see on the screen, this is the curriculum. And what I would urge many of you to do, because the top question on the list tonight, the number 1 question is, how do you make sure lessons are disruption free? And I think the answer to that question is, you need to come and see it for yourself. So if you haven't booked a tour yet, get booked onto a tour and have a walk around the academy with myself, with Mr. Napier, with Miss Shallow, or any one of our teachers, and see the lessons from yourself. And what you will see in those lessons are some remarkable teachers, which is why our students are keen to learn, some remarkable learning going on, and some remarkable assessment taking place and feedback. And it's those three cornerstones of our learning experience, which is why our lessons are disruption free. Students get remarkable teachers every single lesson, every single day. They experience remarkable learning opportunities every single lesson, every single day. And they get feedback from their teachers every single lesson, every single day. And I want to talk to you about what that really looks like in the academy. And I want to start with the remarkable teachers piece. Mr. Napier said this himself, and someone's asked the question, if you have no supply, then what do you do? We as the senior team cover lessons. When a member of staff is unwell or off for any reason, we will step in and we will teach that lesson. And that's our way of ensuring that the students in every class every day have a high quality learning experience. And Mr. Napier was absolutely right earlier when he said it. Some of the people at Bexley Heath Academy are some of the most talented teachers I've ever watched. And I get the pleasure in my role of going around watching many different lessons, meeting many different students, sitting at the back of classrooms. And I often sit there, and I'll be really honest with everyone tonight, I think, I wish I was that good at teaching. And I've said it to Miss Shallow, I'm not going to say it to embarrass her. When I tour the students around and introduce them to Miss Shallow, not only does she oversee that really important transition from year 6 to year 7, she's also an excellent chemistry teacher. And students who get Miss Shallow have an excellent experience in their chemistry lessons. And I can guarantee you, whichever teacher you've got in front of you, you will have a high quality learning experience and a great lesson with that teacher. On top of that, you will experience remarkable learning, and you will explore something and experience something new every single day. And our curriculum is very different to other schools. At Bexley Heath Academy, you won't have a learning objective. You will have an exploration question. And I've put some of the questions from this term that year 7 are experiencing as we speak on the screen so you can see them for yourselves now. So in music currently, they're looking at how do I create and perform a top 10 hit? And they are working together, our students, in bands to put together a pop song. In science, this is Miss Shallow's area. The question is, if I scream in space, will anyone hear me? And what we're looking at is actually thinking about, can people hear you if you scream in space? A really interesting questions, and I've seen some great lessons surrounding that. Why did Guy Fawkes try to blow up the Houses of Parliament? How are myths and legends and fairy tales inspired by Disney? These are all great questions that you will explore every single day in every single lesson, and that's what makes it a remarkable learning experience. On top of all of that, and we've mentioned technology, I heard our students earlier talk about technology. Every single student in every single class has a Chromebook device, and they use those Chromebooks in every single lesson, every single day. And that makes it a really unique and a truly modern learning experience, one that you will not see anywhere else, I guarantee, at the moment. And students utilize those Chromebooks to see exactly what's going on their teacher's screen and understand what's going on in their own world, in their own space. They utilize those Chromebooks for reading, and you'll see a little app in the bottom corner of the screen, which is the little spaceman shooting into space, and that app is called Sora. And we use that to give students access to a whole library of books that they can read for pleasure, which we incorporate into our personal development lessons. The middle app that you can see on screen there is Seneca Learning, which is our homework strategy. And one of the questions, and I can answer that for you now as well, is how much homework do students get a week? We set one piece of homework for every subject once a week. So it's about 7 pieces for year 7 students that last approximately 20 minutes. So about 2 to 2.5 hours of homework that is all centrally driven on that Chromebook that students can do in their own time. And we set that once a week. So it's set on a Monday, due for the following Monday. And the homework response has been phenomenal since we've introduced this with year 7. So it's really great to see. So you will have remarkable learning, all those brilliant exploration and experience questions, coupled with the use of technology in a really unique way, will provide you with that great learning experience. Finally, in terms of assessment, what does assessment look like? Well, you will, of course, get a report home every single term. And when I say term, at Bexley Heath Academy, we operate 6 terms per academic year. So parents and carers, you will get one report on the final Friday of every half term that shows you how well your sons and daughters are doing in every single subject. And each term we build on the previous report, so you can track and monitor your son or daughter's progress every single term, which is brilliant. But here's something truly unique, and you won't find this anywhere else, and something we're really proud of at the Academy. On top of that, at 6:30 every evening, you receive an individual report that comments on and shows you how well your son or daughter's engaged in our lessons. And we call that our daily engagement report. And you can see one on screen now, and that's what it looks like. So every single day, you will get a summary of the level of learning that your son or daughter displayed in their lessons for that day. And you can see there I've demonstrated that with a report to Mr. Remarkable, who's got straight 4s in all of his lessons, which is remarkable engagement for learning. So every single day and every single lesson, you will get a comment from your teacher to show you just how well your son or daughter is progressing. And that really helps to keep our parents and carers in the loop of what's going on in school every single day. Mr. Napier earlier mentioned clubs. So outside of all of those wonderful learning opportunities, he mentioned that number 162 different extracurricular clubs and learning opportunities that take place across the academic year. And my screen was not big enough to put 162 different clubs. So I've just taken a small selection of the clubs that have taken place over yesterday and today only. So these are the clubs that were on either yesterday or were on today in our academy, so you can see them on screen. And there is something for everyone there. Chess club, top right corner, keyboard club in our music studio, coding club with Mr. Napier himself, volleyball, manga club, dissection club. There is a club on that list for every single student. And I know with my hand on my heart that every single student signed up to at least one, if not two of those clubs across this term. And it's a great way for our students to expand their learning, meet other students that they may not meet outside their classes, and have a great extracurricular learning experience. So to kind of summarize all that, we guarantee you 3 things. In my role, you will experience remarkable teaching, being taught by remarkable people every lesson, every single day. You will have remarkable learning. You'll explore and experience something new every single lesson, every single day. And you'll get remarkable assessment and feedback. You will get receive regular feedback and ongoing feedback every single lesson, every single day. And it's for those reasons that it makes the learning experience a truly unique and a truly remarkable one. That's it from me. I'm going to hand back to Miss Shallow now, who's going to talk really excited about some of the transitions events that are coming up. Miss Shallow, back over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sparks. As you can hear, parents in year 6, we are here to make sure that every single person, every single young person that comes through our gates actually leaves when they decide to leave us, whether it be year 11 or in year 13 with transformed lives. So we are here to make sure that our young people leave us as remarkable members of our society. Now, I'm not going to go back before I come to transition. I'll go back to a couple of more students that we would like to have actually come here and talk to you about their experiences. So I'm going to bring on Fatia to start with. And Fatia is in year 11, and I'll just let her talk to you about her experience currently.
Good evening, Year 6s. My name is Fatia, and I'm a student of the Bexley Academy in Year 11. I've spent my secondary school years here for the past 5 years, which has allowed me to be part of the excellent journey of the improvement of the Academy. I've been part of many amazing opportunities the school has offered and represented, soon to be our school, in things such as the netball team, assemblies, and many more. This has been a prominent part of my journey here, especially netball, which I've been doing since year 7. The memories I have from being part of this team are incomparable. Bexley Academy is a place that will always support you, especially with the help of the pastoral managers, which I'm able to say from my own personal experience. If you have made a visit to see us, you'll be able to confirm that our lessons are productive yet still fun. I promise you will not be let down. Our education has adapted to the use of Chromebooks, which every student in the school owns and is responsible for bringing to school every day, fully charged. The Chromebook is not just a laptop. It enhances our learning experience and helps us to work quickly and boost our revision as everything is already online for us. Choose Bexley Academy for a fulfilled education and teenage life. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Fatia. I'll bring Thomas in as well. She's also in year 11 and she's got a few words to share with you all, year 6. Thomasin?
Good evening, parents and students. My name is Thomasin and I'm a year 11 student at Bexley Academy. I've had many experiences within the school and they've overall impacted both my educational and personal work ethics. My time here has been excellent. Not only have I developed new and unique areas for myself, but I've been able to find a direct path on what I think would be the best position for me in the future. Bexley Heath Academy has guided and taught me the different areas that I will need in life, such as how to apply for a CV, or what exactly is a personal statement. All these questions that parents are wondering will all be answered here. I'm sure that BA can help your high-achieving children gain the knowledge and get the education that they deserve. As a member of the school, I found it within myself to join many in-school and out-of-school curriculums, such as signing up and participating in the Jack Petchey speech competition. I represented BA in multiple interviews, such as partaking in the news about COVID and talking about how we as a community are able to cope with the sudden changes. BA, as a school and a small society, were able to not only conquer those changes, but they came back greater and stronger. There were many areas of the school that I'm excited to talk about. An example being the huge fields where various sports take place, and the amazing assemblies where all of our favorite teachers can give the working students the recognition that they deserve. Now to our favorite part, lunch. This is a time where you can socialize, speak to teachers such as Mr. Courtney, Ms. Shallow, and most importantly, make new friends. Bexley Academy have made sure that us as students are given the best of the best when it comes to our stomach. Overall, there are so many amazing aspects of BA, and we all hope that you make the right decision to join us here at Bexley Academy. We promise that they give you only the best of the best, and love education, love school, and most importantly, love BA. We promise you won't regret it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thomasin. Now I'm going to bring a young lady who's going to join us. Just so you all know, Naomi has only been with us for the last 2 weeks. So she's actually one of our new students that's joined us this year. And she's just going to share with you what her experience has been so far. Over to you, Naomi.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Naomi, and like Michelle just said, I recently started here at Bexley Heath Academy. As I'm a new student here, I also share the same feelings as you're probably feeling right now. I'll say that every emotion you may be feeling right now is completely normal. I too was nervous, maybe even a little bit scared. However, my first conversation with the vice principal, Miss Luther, immediately got me excited to come to the school. I can assure you that everything that you're going to hear about this school tonight is absolutely true. I'll be honest, at first I was a bit skeptical as to whether the school would match to its description, but I was soon convinced as I walked through the school gates on my first day. I was greeted and made to feel welcome by my pastoral manager, Miss Freeman, who has been a tremendous help to my settling down in this school. Everyone here, all the members of staff, it's like they took it upon themselves and as if it was their responsibility to make me feel welcome and to become familiar with my surroundings. Also at this school, we utilize Chromebooks, which enhance digitalized learning. I would say that, to be honest, you'd have to come and see for yourself, and I'll assure you that you'd have the best time at Bristol Hall, at BI Academy.
Thank you so much. I've been told that those questions are coming in floods at the moment, but just hold on tight. Just the last bit before the question, we're going to just talk about our transition program. Now, our transition events actually start from the moment we get that list from Bexley Council. So we have live virtual clubs each week. These are live interactive lessons where students are physically participating. For example, last year we had a science and art collaboration. So it was a clash actually. And the exploration question was about the traveling dandelions. So not only do the young people get to study about the life cycle of a dandelion, they also had an art session where they were able to actually go off and artistically express what that traveling dandelion meant or looks like to them. So I'm going to show you some of the work that was sent in by every single student that took part, or some of the work that was sent in, I should say. Next slide, please. Okay, so I guess we've gone past that slide. So as you can see, some amazing pieces of work that was done by the young people who were in the same position that you all are in. Now, I'm going to pass over to Layla. Layla is currently in year 7, and Layla has been with us since our very first live lesson. So we're going to bring Layla to the studio. Hi, Layla.
Hi.
Okay, can you just talk to the year 6, exactly what your experience has been so far?
Hi, year 6. My name is Layla, and I'm one of the year 7s at BA. I'm going to guess that you're all really scared and have plenty of concerns about new school year. However, what made me feel better is that all the staff are always ready to listen to you. If you're worried about making friends, that is one of the reasons why summer school is in place. It gave me time to make new friends. I also had a brief I also had a brief experience about what the lessons are like and the teachers that I might have had. Towards the end of summer school, you might be beginning to go to classes alone. And I know the school looks big, but it's really easy to adapt to your surroundings once you get to know the school. I'm really enjoying being a student at BA, and I know you will too.
Thank you so much, Layla. Okay, we're now going to go over to our question and answers. Apparently, my slide for the artwork isn't on the PowerPoint yet, but I'm going to make sure I get that slide on it because I want you to see exactly what the young people are producing in a virtual live lesson. Okay, so I'm going to pass you over to Mr. Napier. He's going to go through some of the questions, and then Mr. Sparks as well. He's going to go through some of the questions that have been sent in by parents and young people. Mr. Sparks?
Brilliant, thank you, Miss Shallow. And the question, there are so many questions, and if we try to answer them all, I think this YouTube video will be going on until school starts at 8:45 tomorrow morning. So we're going to do our best to work through as many as we can. And what we can also do, I'll have a conversation with Mr. Napier tonight about maybe we can jot down some answers to these and post them on our latest news page, so when you make a booking as well, you'll be able to get some of the answers to those questions. Also, some of the questions have been answered in this video, so if you joined us slightly later in the presentation this afternoon, there was a question, for example, about clubs. We showed some of the clubs, so do re-watch the video. The recording will appear straight on YouTube at the end when we click end session, so you'll be able to watch back and see anything you've missed. So do have a look through that. But what we'll make a promise of is any questions that are not answered in this session, we will make sure an answer appears on our website in the very near future. But some great questions, some of which I've covered already. But there's a great question here about pastoral care. A lot of people asking about pastoral care, Mr. Napier. And the theme of the question is around how do we ensure that we give really good pastoral care in such a big school? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and that's a really good question, I think, Mr. Sparks. And it comes back to what we were talking about at the start of this evening's session, that one of the real important things for us as an academy is that every student has a really positive experience every day, not only in the classroom, but in those sort of wider experiences that they have. And so every student at Bexley Heath Academy is allocated their own pastoral manager and will be allocated to them when they join us as a Year 7 student, and will work alongside that student for all of the time that they're with us until they move on at the age of 18. And our pastoral team are a really talented, really experienced group of staff that make sure that students are getting on okay in their lessons, but also are around to support how young people are developing, and also provide that liaison with parents and carers at home, which is equally important, particularly in a big secondary school. And so whatever the problem or whatever the question, students at the school can go to their pastoral manager, who will be able to support them overcome any problems or answer any questions. And similarly, if there are any questions from parents and carers at home, they will have a direct number for their son or their daughter's pastoral manager, and you'll be able to get in touch with them, contact them directly by email, regardless of the question, and they'll be able to provide support. And one of the things which is quite unique, I think, locally, is that our pastoral managers that support students do not teach, and they are not teachers. And so they are available all day, every day, to make sure that students are supported in every way required. And we think that's a really important part of the provision that we make for young people. Mr. Sparks, I hope that answers that question, but a great question there from one of our viewers.
Brilliant, thank you, Ms. Napier. I think it absolutely does. And for this next question, because we've had a lot of questions on this theme, I'm going to bring in Miss Luther, who is one of our other vice principals, into the mix. Hello, Miss Luther, thank you for joining us. And the next question, Miss, we've had a lot of different questions, but centred around what support will there be if my child has dyslexia, or what support will there be if my child has individual learning needs? And I thought you'd be best placed to answer that, Miss Luther. So can you talk us through the support that's on offer for students with additional needs?
And I have to say, first of all, thank you everyone for watching us this evening. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you in our academy very soon. And what a great question. How are we supporting the different needs out there in our wonderful Bexley Heath Academy community? So the first thing in terms of the transition process, we find out about the individual student needs. Our Senko, Miss Blewett, makes visits during the summer term to find out everything there is to know about each of the students that are coming through. We use that information to really prepare ourselves as teachers for the students coming in. In term one, a lot of the questions that have come through for our SEND team is, do we set the students when they come in September? And the answer to that is no, not in the very first term, because we want to find out more information about our individuals. And that will happen with a series of tests that take place, CATS tests, our own week 5 assessments. Once we have that information, we'll first of all set the students so we have students with the similar abilities. And that's our first support system, making sure that students with the similar abilities are together. And that's through quality first teaching. Now, depending on the need, there might be LSAs, so learning support assistants that are within the classroom. We then also have additional interventions that will be taking place through our Bedrock literacy program, if it is that students are struggling with literacy. We also have one-to-one math support as well. And sir, I could go on for forever and ever and ever all evening about the support that we can offer. But if there are any specific questions that you have based on what your individual child's need is, please go onto our website. You've got my contact details, Miss Luther. You've also got Miss Blewett's details as well. I'm happy to give you a call to talk about your individual child's needs and what we can do for that individual. Thank you, sir.
Brilliant, great response. Thank you, Miss Luther. And Miss Shallow, this next question I'm going to direct towards you. So we've also had a lot of questions themed around sort of year 7 students when they join us settling in. And I'm going to just read one question out because it sort of summarises a few questions in. And the question's around how do we stagger lesson times and lunch times for year 7s, because the user said because they could be a bit overwhelmed in such a big school. And I know you've mentioned transitions, but how do we make sure our year 7 students feel so settled in when they join? It's a great question.
A really good question. Okay, so what we do, we always ensure that our year 7s always have a 5-minute early end of lesson. So for example, we have break at 11:30. Our year 7s will be dismissed from 11:25. That gives them enough time to get to the canteen way before the other students actually come to join them in the canteen. We have 2 very big size canteens in our school. So we would have, at the moment, actually, we have got our year 7s sharing their canteen with just our year 10 students. So once again, that means that the year 7s will always have plenty of time to queue up and get their food as well. Same thing with lunch. So we've got a staggered lunch time as well as after school. So at the moment, school closes at 3:10. We let our year 7s leave from 3:05. So they actually at the gate way before the rest of the school does come out.
Brilliant. Thank you, Miss Shallow. And a question that comes up time and time again, and a slightly sensitive one, but I think it's one that we certainly should answer. And Miss Luther, I think this is a good question for you to answer in your role, is how do we deal with bullying? And that's been asked many times this afternoon. So what steps do we put in place, Miss Luther?
Hi, so the most important thing that we need is information. So as soon as you've experienced bullying, please come and tell us. And that can be to your pastoral manager, any teachers in school, anybody. And what will happen then is that we'll conduct an investigation to see exactly what has taken place. And there'll be different things that take place. So for example, we might sit the 2 individuals down. It might have been a misunderstanding. And that's what started off a conversation that may not have been pleasant for each individual. So it could be through an RJ. It could be that there is a misunderstanding based on an event that's taken place in the playground. So again, we have an opportunity to sit those 2 individuals down and find out exactly what's going on. But what I won't lie about is that bullying doesn't take place. It happens in every school. However, what we do is try and find out exactly what the issue has been and resolve it at that point in time. But the most important part of that is you need to come and tell us what's happened. And if it is that there's even been something on social media that you haven't been happy with about at all, it might be comments that have been made about you, take a screenshot, bring it to us, and we'll investigate that. Now, what I need to say is, guys, we need to be friendly towards each other. One of our core values is about being big-hearted. So if you're sat there right now, please go ahead and form your fingers in such a way that produces a heart. So what we want all of our students to do is be kind towards each other. And if it is that you hear someone saying something not so pleasant to each other and doing something not so pleasant to another person, you speak to them and say, look, that's not right. And actually, if it is that person's not listening, again, come and speak to us. It might be that they just need some time to sit with us for them to understand that the action that they've done, and I'll give you a brief example, like tripping someone up might be quite funny, but actually that could be a massive health and safety issue. And so therefore that individual might need to just have a conversation with us about why that's not appropriate and how that can lead to something a bit more severe. So please provide us the information. If anything has happened in our academy that you're not happy about, come speak to us. And I'm not going to say it's one size fits all for whatever situation it might be. It would be personalized to that particular situation. But tell us. Over to you, sir.
Brilliant. Thank you, Miss Luther. And it's a question that on the tours I get asked a lot. And we have a zero tolerance approach to bullying ultimately. And the one guarantee, and we say it every year to our year sevens when they join us, is if any student is unkind, unpleasant to you in any way, tell us. We will investigate and we will sort it. And we do take a no-nonsense approach. And Miss Luther's right, a lot of work goes into those investigations to make sure the right course of action is taken. I think we've got time for 2 more questions. There's been a lot of sort of curriculum-based questions, which I think I will answer myself. And then there's a question, Mr. Napier, to get you thinking about in a minute about what are our plans for the future. Now the school has secured a good, what is the plan going forward and how will we maintain that and grow and develop upon that? So I'll give you a bit of thinking time, Mr. Napier, because that's a great question that's come up a lot. There was a question about music facilities that was asked, which I can answer, and then a question about PE as well, and a question about that innovation and technology. So I'm going to answer a bit of a curriculum-based question now, which is a great one. Someone asked us what the music facilities are like, and our music facilities are absolutely fabulous. And on top of that, I mentioned remarkable teachers. We have an excellent head of music, Mr. Yates, who teaches, and he actually won Kent Teacher of the Year in 2017. He's a phenomenal practitioner, and he's in a really well-equipped department. And you will have seen on the extracurricular clubs, we have a year 7, 8 and 9 band. We have a gospel choir. There's a lot of music going on in the academy. And also, it's so important to us, the arts, that we have a separate art, music and drama lesson, and that's really, really important. So students in year 7 will have 1 lesson of music, 1 lesson of art, and 1 lesson of drama a week. So hopefully that's answered that question a little bit. I had some other questions around food technology, engineering, graphics designs, all of those subjects come out, DT predominantly. And within our innovation and technology curriculum, and Mr. Napier mentioned it's a really exciting curriculum, we offer elements of all of those. So students will study elements of business studies, elements of media studies, elements of engineering, elements of food and nutrition. And the reason behind that is that they can enjoy those subjects in year 7, 8 and 9. So, but that by the time they get to year 10, they can make really informed choices about which subjects they want to study. And it's one our students truly do love. And on the tour, I make a point of going into our design technology box. So if you've not come in and seen it yet, do pop in and we'll show you around so you can see some of those lessons in action. So hopefully that's answered a few of our curriculum questions. And so Mr. Napier, for our final question this evening, there's been a lot of questions around great job, you've improved the school, has come up quite a lot. So thank you for that recognition in the chat window. That's been really, really appreciated. What's the next steps and what's the next plans?
Yeah, no, and what a great question, Mr. Sparks. And I think for the students that will be joining us in the coming September, that future is something that they are truly going to experience. And I think that Bexley Heath Academy has arrived at a place of real stability, which is being delivered by a really talented team that have allowed the academy to grow and develop across the last 2 years. And I think there are a few things, Mr. Sparks, that I would probably point out in terms of the future plans. Number one being that the academy will continue to enjoy that stability. The great teachers and the great members of our support services team and our senior team that are working with students every day. And what's really important, and I think what is really reassuring, is that that team will remain in place to make sure that the school continues to improve and develop. And that idea of constant improvement and always looking to push the limits and move forward is absolutely something that myself and the senior team talk about on a very regular basis. And so what do we want for our students over the coming 5 years? Students that are joining us next September, what are the things that they are going to experience with us through their secondary school journey? Absolutely, they will experience a curriculum that will continue to adapt, that will continue to reflect an ever-changing world. And Mr. Sparks has talked about, the importance of that forward-thinking innovation and technology curriculum area, a curriculum that Mr. Sparks and his team have drawn together and written bespoke for students at Bexley Heath Academy. I think the other important development that will continue to grow moving forward is the area of personal development that Mr. Sparks talked about earlier. And absolutely, students will leave us at the end of year 11, the end of year 13 with great qualifications, but they will also leave us with an absolute toolkit of great skills to make them successful as they move on to college or university or take the next steps in their training. And I think what we will see from our personal development curriculum is students that are able to have highly developed skills, that are really happy in terms of their physical health and their mental health, and understand how they can grow up into respectful and supportive members of our community, making that real contribution to our local area. And so we're really excited about where our personal development curriculum is going to go. And I think the other thing that myself and the team are really aware of is the experience that children and young people have had over the last 2 years. And I think one thing that we're really keen to do is to make sure that those opportunities to join and take part in trips and visits, to visit on an almost weekly basis our local community, to visit places of interest across England and further afield. And I spoke to one parent yesterday that joined us on a tour who asked me about international trips and visits. And is that something that students at Bexley Heath Academy will be able to experience? And absolutely, that is the case. And over the coming few years, we're really excited about some of the plans that we have. And I think that what we aim to offer over the coming 3, 4, 5 years, and certainly for the experience of students that will be joining us in September 2022, is an experience in school where they'll be attending school every day and will be happy and will look forward to coming to school every day, and we promise you that we will keep your children safe and deliver them a great experience every day. So not only will we provide that stability as the school continues to perform at an extremely high level, but we will push the limits in terms of what we are able to provide for young people. Because I think, I speak for the whole team when I say we're absolutely determined to make sure that Bexley Heath Academy is a school of choice, and students at Bexley Heath Academy get the very best experience, and an experience which is forward-looking into a world which is changing very rapidly, so that we can make sure that the young people that grow with us over the next 5, 6, 7 years are able to step out into that world as truly remarkable young people. So, Mr. Sparks, I hope that provides a bit of a summary there over some of our plans for the coming years.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mr. David. That's a question I've been asked many times on the tours, and I'd echo that one point that you mentioned a few times, and it's about that sustainability now and also moving forward and continuing to push the limits. And there'll be a theme in the questions that's come out tonight around how are we going to sustain that? And you've just heard Mr. Napier outline our plans for the next 5 years, and hopefully that answers that question around our intention to continue that journey forward. But if you've got any other questions, as I say, there has been so many tonight, too many to answer, unfortunately. But what we will do is we will produce a frequently asked questions page. I'll get Ms. Shallow and the team on that, because I know that's something she was keen to do, and we'll get a response to all those questions. So thank you for those. If it's not been answered, we will get an answer to you. So that draws us to a close, and I'm going to hand back to the person who started and kicked this evening off. So Ms. Shallow, over to you for a sort of closing comment, please.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sparks. Well, I don't think I'm big or fit enough to actually close this very delightful evening. So thank you so much, parents, for your time. And thank you for the questions that you've sent. I cannot wait to see all of them and to start writing your replies. Once again, hope you've really enjoyed the evening, and hope we've actually shown you what we here at BA, what we represent and what we stand for. Have a good evening, and I look forward to seeing you. For those of you that will be coming in for your tours, I do look forward to seeing you. And if you have not yet booked, do go into our website and look for a possible slot. Have a good evening all and take care. Bye from us.